Hello all, I am Meghana PS, working as an assistant professor in commerce, Government First Aid College, Bharamsagra. I am discussing the subject financial markets and services under that module 4 non-banking financial intermediaries. In this session, I am discussing about the merits and demerits of venture capital. The objective of this session is to understand the advantages and disadvantages of venture capital funds, and by the end of this session you are able to understand what are all the merits and demerits of the venture capital. In previous session we discussed about the meaning of venture capital. Venture capital means it is a risky capital where they invest in high technology products which are new and they have a greater opportunity to provide a huge returns. So, and we also saw the two definitions of venture capital and features of venture capital. Let's see merits or importance of venture capital. The first one is promotes entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs have an idea but they don't have a finance. So make it economically feasible, they need a loan or they need a finance. Venture capitalists provides a finance to the entrepreneur which promotes the entrepreneurship in a country. Next one is it promotes products. The venture capital invest in a new product which has having a high technology. So it also promotes the new products in a country. And it encourages customer in the sense the business firms. So the venture capital encourages its business firms or its customers by not only providing the finance but also providing other assistance like managerial assistance, marketing assistance. So it encourages their customers. Next, brings out latent talent. Venture capital see the potential talent in the entrepreneur. So it encourages the talents in a country. So they can, if the individuals have a talent, then they can go and get the funds from the venture capitalists. Next, it promotes exports. Venture capital promotes the export oriented units because they can earn the foreign exchange also. Economy oriented help. Venture capitalist also helps economic development of a country by increasing the industrialization in the country. Next, it is an investor oriented help because the venture capitalists fund the business at the very early stage. So after the growth stage only, the firms are going to call for public investment in their companies. So for the investors it will become a helpful thing because they invest at very less risky stage of a firm. So these are the importance or merits of venture capital. Demerits of venture capital. The first one is expensive. Venture capital is an expensive source of finance because the getting the funds is also a very tedious process and it involves the huge negotiations, and for that negotiation period the venture capitalist appoints an attorney. For that attorney services the huge payment has to be made. That payment has to be made from the new entrepreneur itself. So this makes the venture capital expensive. Next one is loss of control. Venture capitalists fund the new firms. In the new firms, the entrepreneurs are new to the business, and always the venture capitalist wants a special right over the entrepreneurs, and they enter the business as a co-promoters, and they just not providing the finance, they also involve in all other activities of the business. So the control of the business will be lost by an entrepreneur. The next one is diminished ownership. So when they are getting the funds from venture capital, the entrepreneur has to provide their equity in turn in consideration for loan amount. How much funds they are bringing, that much of equity has to be provided for the venture capitalist. This makes the loss of ownership of an entrepreneur. And the last one is structural reorganization. Venture capitalists always wanted a preferred stock, say convertible preference, convertible participating shares they wanted. If the company or the firms having a other kind of equities, they has to restructure their equity capital, and they have to change their articles of association to get the loan from, or to get the funds from venture capitalists. So these are the demerits of venture capital. Let's see stages in financing venture capital. The firm passes through several stages from its beginning to end. The venture capitalist provides the finance in different stages, in different stages of a firm. The first one is development of an idea, which is also called as seed finance. In this stage, the finance is provided to convert an idea into a business proposition. At this stage, research work is needed and in-depth study is needed. For that purpose, finance is provided. Next one is implementation stage or startup finance. So at this stage, the actual manufacturing setup has to be done. So for that purpose, huge capital outlay is needed. So venture capitalist provides amount or funds for building and construction and purchase of assets. For all these things, finance is provided. Next one is fledgling stage or additional finance. After starting their manufacturing of an products, the company may face teething problems. So at that time, the company needs a marketing infrastructure and proper delivery supply chain management. For that purpose, the finance is needed. So venture capitalists provide finances for marketing infrastructure as well as supply chain management. And the last stage is establishment stage, or we can call it as establishment finance. At this stage, the firm is established one, but they need finance for the expansion purposes to attain the stability and to attain economies of scale. So they have to grow more. So for that purpose, venture capitalists provide finance for the firms. So these are the stages in which venture capitalists finance. Let's sum up this session. Venture capitalists helps in promotion of self-employment, and also they invest in a risky finance. It helps the economic development of a country, and as well as it helps the investors to reduce their risk in their investment. And the invest in case of well, coming for demerits, the entrepreneur loses the control over the business, as well as they have to restructure their share capital. And venture capitalist provides finance at various stages from idea generation to establishment of business. These are the references for your further readings. I hope you understood the concept of merits and demerits of venture capital and stages in financing venture capital. Thank you all.